You've probably scrolled past this Instagram series that feels so original and thought, how did they even come up with this? But after analyzing hundreds of videos, I've noticed something surprising. They're not random ideas, they all follow a hidden pattern. And once you see it, everything starts to make sense. In this video, I'm going to break down those patterns using real life examples so you can create your own signature series without overthinking what to post. And stay till the end because the last one is the one that builds the most personal connection with your audience, but it's also the one that most creators overlook. And these ideas can work for any niche. First, we have the experiment style series. This is where you take a popular tip, a strategy, or a trend in your niche and test it out to see if it lives up to the hype. You try it, document what happens, and share the result. What makes this so powerful is the curiosity because people want to know, does this actually work or not? And so they keep watching to find out. And the best part is you're doing the work for them. You're testing it and telling them clearly if it's worth their time or not. For example, this series by Ethan, where he tries random side hustles to see what actually makes money, or this series by Taylor, where she posts every single day to see how much she can make purely from content and pay off her debt. And it doesn't just have to be in the money or the business space. The creator behind the page Little Joy Coffee has a series where he experiments with different drink recipes until he finds one that's good enough to actually put on his cafe menu. Kaylee's series Trying Every Coffee Shop in My City, where she tries different coffee shops in her city and gives her honest review. And finally, Anja's series Is This a Fit or Is It Just Because It's on Pinterest, where she recreates Pinterest outfits to see if they actually look good or not. So you can see in each of these examples, the format stays the same, but the niche changes. Now here's where it gets more interesting. What if instead of testing random things, you could give yourself a clear goal and let people watch you try to achieve it? That's where the second one comes in, which is the challenge type series. This is where you set a clear goal and document your journey of trying to achieve it. So instead of just randomly sharing tips, you're actually telling your audience, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm going to take you along every step of the way. What makes this so powerful is that people get invested because they're trying to follow a story. For example, Melanie's series, Trying to Make 5K in 90 Days through different side hustles, where every post becomes an update, and you want to know, did she get closer to her goal or not? And then you have Erin's Millionaire Year, where she is documenting her journey of trying to become a millionaire in 1 year. And that's a big goal, right? So naturally, people want to keep coming back to see how it unfolds. And this works because there's tension, there's uncertainty, and people want to know if you'll actually reach your goal. And that's exactly what keeps them watching. But here's the thing, not every piece of content has to be a long journey or a big goal. Sometimes the simplest content performs the best. And that brings me to the third one, which is the lesson style series. This is where you take your experiences and turn them into takeaways. Every mistake, every win, and every realization becomes a lesson that your audience can learn from. What makes it so powerful is that it's valuable but also very personal. For example, Chloe's 30 Lessons by 30, where each post is a lesson she learned before hitting age 30, and another similar example is Myleen's 24 Lessons in 2024, where each part is a lesson she learned in the year 2024. And then we have Angelo's 20 Money Lessons I Learned in My 20s, a series that is both relatable and valuable. And finally, Jackie's Things I Wish I Knew Before Having a Baby series. And I love this one because it's for a specific audience at a very specific stage of life. But what if your audience just wants something quick and useful? That brings me to number 4, which is the hacks, tips, or tricks style series. This is your quick value series. Each video gives one simple tip, one hack, or one shortcut that your audience can take and apply immediately. These do so well because they're easy to watch, easy to understand, and easy to save. For example, Leah's 30 Days of Healthy Snacks, where each video is a new recipe that's quick and actionable, or Melissa's Side Hustles That Don't Suck, where in each video she shares a different side hustle idea to earn extra income, and she's very straight to the point. And we also have Lauren's series, where she shares side quests that you can do at home without buying anything new. It's simple, creative, and instantly doable. So if you ever feel stuck, this is one of the easiest formats to fall back on. Now let's switch things up a little bit because the next type is what separates the average creators from the ones who actually stand out. Number 5 is the observations or critique style series. This is where you take a trend, a pattern, or a thing in your niche and break it down by sharing your own unique opinions or observations about that thing. For example, this series by Lottie, where she talks about fashion trends that won't serve you long term and will end up in a landfill. On a similar note, we have Autumn's Spring 2026 fashion trends, where she shares her seasonal fashion trend predictions. And finally, Muskan's Indie Brands Doing Sick Packaging, where she breaks down interesting brand packaging and explains why it works so well. This series style works so well because it positions you as someone who really understands your niche. But now you might be wondering, what if I actually want to teach something step by step? And that brings me to number 6, which is the tutorial style series. Now, this is your structured series, right? So instead of explaining how to do something in one video, you break it down into steps and turn each step into its own episode. This keeps people coming back because they want to see the full process. For example, Nana's series, where she teaches how to build a personal brand step by step, or the How I Edit series by Meg, where each episode breaks down a different video editing technique. And lastly, 7 Days, 7 Ways to Style by Des, that teaches styling techniques over a series of days so you can learn to dress more stylish. Instead of overwhelming your audience with all the information at once, you guide them on how to do something step by step. At number 7, we have the Recommendation Style series. This is where you share what you genuinely like and use. It could be your favorite products, your favorite tools, your favorite ideas, or even experiences. People love this because it saves them time and helps them make better decisions. For example, Rebecca shares her favorite mid range luxury bags in her series, Better Than a Birkin. Anya talks about her favorite gadgets and how she uses them in her series, Gadgets You Didn't Know You Needed. Lauren shares different hobbies that she likes that you can also try at home. And in all of these, you're curating your favorite picks for your audience. Now, before we get to the last one, there's one that instantly grabs your audience's attention, and that is the Myths or Mistakes style series. This is where you challenge what people actually believe. You take something that's widely accepted and show what's actually true. It creates that moment of, wait, have I been thinking about this wrong? A good example of this is the series by Brett, where she busts common homeschool myths. This kind of content stops the scroll immediately. And now we get to the one I mentioned at the beginning and the one that most people underestimate, and that is the personal story style series. This is where you share raw stories from your life, your culture, happenings, or even your thoughts, and each episode should feel like a page from your personal diary. Not in a random way, but in a way that relates to something that your audience experiences too. For example, Harshini has a series titled Field Notes of a Brown Girl, where she shares stories from her life growing up, her culture, friendships, etc. Another example is this one, Layla's Travel Diary, where each episode in the series is about her first solo travel experience in Cape Town. And then there's this series by Candice where she talks about feeling lost in her 30s and trying to rediscover joy in her life. If you're thinking of doing this type of series, think about sharing stories, struggles, or experiences that your audience can also relate to, and try to make it valuable by telling them how you're navigating the situation or the lessons that you learned from it. So that this way they don't feel like they're only just getting to know you, but they also have some value to walk away with. But a signature series is only one way to build a cult following. If you want the full breakdown on how to build a magnetic brand, go and watch this video next.